Hi there people, how do you do? This is Spray Love. And I am here to do another video about a fragrance that I just tried on. I've been doing several videos on that particular fragrance, so this is not a new fragrance that I didn't know of. It's Patchouli Ardent, but it's still like I still have just a sample of that fragrance. And I am here with like my laptop just to tell you about the note breakdown on that fragrance. Now, like, first off, before having seen the note, this is an obvious rose fragrance. Okay, so this one has a prominent rose note, and it is a patchouli fragrance. It is called Patchouli Ardent, so it is a patchouli fragrance. So there's a strong patchouli vibe to it, and there's also a very, very prominent rose note right from the start. When you spray it on, rose just starts, flowering at you. And so when I read like the note breakdown, there's other notes such as the top notes, according to Fragrantica, are fig, pink pepper, and black pepper. I do not really get any fruitiness, fig-like fruitiness out of that fragrance. I get the peppery vibe to it, like 100%. But the fig, not so. I think that there is a fig, perhaps, or a fruity note or undertone just to complement well with the rose. Then there's mid notes of rose, patchouli, and cedarwood. So patchouli and cedarwood are usually base notes. Now they put it in the mid notes. My laptop just died, but they put it in the mid notes, which is, I mean, it's okay. The rose is absolutely normally a it's always, most of the time, it's a mid note, and this rose especially, it is not a bright one. It is not a bright, like, kind of a top note rose. It is a mid note rose. The other two, I think that you can smell them on right away as the fragrance sprays, the cedar and the patchouli. So I guess that they thought like this is not a dry down kind of a note. This is more of a base note. This is like throughout all of the fragrances life, you will get patchouli and you will get also the cedarwood. Now at the base there is leather. According to French Grantica, I think there's leather and some woods. So there's the leather note. Actually, yes, there is a leather note. It's right down there. It's a real bass note, it's just not too apparent. It's not like a leather, it's not a Turkish leather type of fragrance. It's not a ombre leather type of fragrance. It's not even like, I wouldn't call it a leather based fragrance, but the leather here is just there to put some warmth to it, get it even sexier. This is a very, very sexy, elegant type of a fragrance. Easily worn dressed up, easily worn for special occasions. It is supposed, like, I've checked on the website. It is said that it is an Oriental type scent. Now I know that some people, they're pretty, they don't want to call fragrances Oriental and whatever, but on the website that's what they said. And what I get by that is the rose, how it's used, really, like, it kind of smells like the classic oud and rose and saffron combo, but there is no saffron and there's no oud. Replaced like these elements by patchouli, and that's what you get, a patchouli rose fragrance. Very, very powerful patchouli too. The patchouli, I'm not a huge fan of patchouli in general. I'm not like the biggest fan of patchouli, but I do think that in this fragrance it is used with elegance, it is used expertly. um, it is very alluring because patchouli has got something that is a little more like not animalic, but it has something that's dirty to it, that we associate a lot with hippies and rock and roll music too, and stuff like that, like more free spirited kind of a note. Yet in that fragrance, it is extremely elegantly done. So it still retains that uh, chaotic, sexy nature of the patchouli, but turned into an elegant rose fragrance that just makes it a very alluring, sexy, um, special occasion fragrance dressed up. I I dressed all the black for that fragrance. I think that this actually makes sense. Um, I think that it has a mysterious aura to it. It is something that is intriguing. It will make you smell like no one else smells like, because this is, a unique kind of fragrance, because it's not an actual oud and rose combo. It's a patchouli rose combo. And I can't stress it enough. This is pretty much what makes the fragrance unique. It is not done in a way that is unique. It is done in a way that you can think about fragrances that has that little combo right there. You can think of plenty of Montal fragrances that have the rose, saffron, and oud combo, but this one actually stands apart because it's not an oud saffron rose, it's a patchouli rose fragrance. But the rose is used exactly the same way. The patchouli is kind of used to get that woodiness, to get that dirtier oud like thing going on, and then the cedar just brings it more woodsy, and then you get like to the base and there's leather, and that makes it even more intriguing. It is very much done like those fragrances that everyone thinks are very sexy, that are like, when you think of that, you think of Middle Eastern perfumery. It is done in that style. um, and as always, Guerlain doesn't disappoint. What they do with like expertise. They are masters of their craft. This is a very, very well blended, very like, you smell it, you're like, this smells like $1,000. Like this smells like $1,000,000 right away. It's not like something that you spray on and oh, the opening is quite harsh and then it dries into something that's better. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Do bear in mind that the dry down is better. No, that's not the kind of fragrance. You spray it on, you smell quality. You smell quality ingredients. It smells really natural. Nothing much synthetic going on. Then it dries down and it's just as elegant, sexy, and masterfully crafted as the as like the first spray. And when it completely dries down, I know that this fragrance lasts a long time. It is mid oriented. It is an eau de parfum, and it's mid oriented, so it lasts like such a long time. I'm putting it on. There's still sun out there. I can maybe think of, I don't know, if I was to go out, I would definitely not have to reapply at all. Uh, Several hours from now, it would just smell so good, and the rose patchouli stays all along. It is a mid note oriented fragrance, so what can I say more? The the top notes are there like just to complement, just to stay there, just to offer some balance to the rest of the fragrance. But the mid just stays, like the heart just stays on and on and on. And even when it fades away, you still wake up the next morning with a bit of leather, a bit of woods, and then fade rose. And it's just like, it's even beautiful when you wake up. So this is a fragrance I would recommend. I would also recommend like all their, like Les Absolus d'Orient line. It is magnificent. There's tons of beautiful fragrances there. Bois Mystérieux, I think, and all their L'Art et la Matière, all their special lines. They don't get talked about that much, except for Aqua Allegoria, because they are at Sephora's and stuff. But most of their other lines don't get the love they deserve in the fragrance industry. So, in the fragrance community, I mean, but it is like, they are masterpieces, all of them. And sometimes I don't really like one, but it's always super masterfully crafted. It's superb. So yeah, spread love and spray love. Bye bye.